Let me begin with a question. Have you ever felt a deep inner longing to know the truth, the ultimate truth? Or do you have or feel a void in your heart that something is missing? Something, despite having everything in your life, there is something missing, and you want to explore that purest essence form of yours. If your answer to any of my question is yes, then it is time for you, my dear friends, to answer the call of the purity codes. Namaste, this is Tina and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about very interesting and a very important and necessary topic for every authentic spiritual seeker out there. So if you feel wherever or whichever part or stage of your spiritual journey you might be in, there comes a time sooner or later where you will have to understand the purity codes, imbibe them, and practice and activate these codes in you. So, what purity codes am I talking about? Let's talk about them a little bit in more detail. So, what are the purity codes? They are like the ancient frequencies, and they are not something outside of us, not something which I have to reach out, grab, and get it. No, it's not like that, my dear friends. It is a frequency which is already encoded in our soul, in our cells, in our DNA. And how do we activate it? When we start living a life of awakened state, that is, we start on a seeking journey to know who we really are, to get back to our purest essence, to lead an authentic life, a life which is aligned with the divine laws of truth, of love, of compassion. I mean, the higher values. When we start living them, we automatically start activating our purity codes. I'm sure we all have done a lot of practices, meditations, reading spiritual books, doing exercises, trying out various techniques and tools to quicken our ascension journey. But unless and until we understand how to purify ourselves by doing and activating these codes in us, it will be very difficult for us to ascend any further. In my own personal journey, I noticed that whatever I was trying, I could reach at a certain level, then again fall down. So I had to sit and experiment with myself. And unless I learned how to activate these codes in me, I could not move further. But after I realized how it was easy for me to activate and awaken myself to these purity codes, which are already encoded in us, everything became smooth ride for me. So let me share this beautiful secret with you. So the purity codes I'm talking about, the good news is not something that we have to, seek from outside of our own selves or move to some spiritual place or Himalayas or leave our family life and give up our daily routines. No, we do not have to do anything of that sort. You can activate it at the very place you are at the moment. So there are three codes basically which I'm talking about: the purity codes of thought, purity codes of speech or words, and the purity of emotions. That is the three chakras of our system, the higher chakras, to reach the union with the Supreme Lord. So let's begin one by one. Let me talk about the purity of thoughts. So we are bombarded with millions and zillions of thoughts throughout the day, passing around our head, and continuously we are engaged in those thoughts. Some thoughts might be negative or self sabotage, self destructive, or judgmental thoughts about others, critical thoughts, and all. So, these are the negative thoughts which cover as a veil our third eye, or our mental faculty is blocked by these negative thoughts, right? So these are the thoughts we need to purify. We need to come in a state of awareness as an observer to keep watching over your thoughts. Like a good watchman, just keep observing your thoughts. It might take a bit of time to adjust to this new system, but once you're aware of the unnecessary thoughts which are just going on and you're getting attached to these thoughts and getting into that negative pattern of criticizing, judging people, having envious, jealous thoughts, and these are the thoughts that pull you down to your lower self. And we are on a journey to move and merge with our higher selves, the best version of, purest version of ours. So watch the purity of your thoughts. So anytime you find yourself being engaged in negative self-talk or negative mental pattern, just stop yourself at that moment. Just stop yourself and check and come back to good thoughts. Make a habit to imbibe good thoughts in yourself. This is going to help you in purifying your mental faculty and also the mental body which surrounds your physical body. So it's cleansing of the mental body and activating the purity codes of thought in us. And the second purity code that we activate is the purity of speech. So we generally, speak a lot of things throughout the day, and these speech is like magic spells. You do not know the power you hold in your words. Your words are magical and they can wound anybody, they can also heal anybody. So sometimes we speak such harsh words, especially to our near and dear ones, which can hurt others' feelings for a very, very long time. So speech which is demotivating, which is hurtful, or which is bad, foul language, is going to, make your throat chakra imbalanced and make your purity codes dull. It's going to dim your light. So make an effort to purify your words. So whenever you want to speak to people, even to strangers, to shopkeepers, to your friends, to your family, just give a thought before reacting to any situation. Learn to respond, give a pause to yourself and then speak words which are motivating, which are loving, which are kind, and which are appreciating others. So whenever you see anything good in others, just stop and appreciate that person. You never know, your words of encouragement and appreciation might bring so much happiness to that person. Even we remember when we were appreciated by someone, for years we remember it. So why not make a habit of always giving positive, appreciative comments to others whenever we meet them? So this is, activating your purity codes of your speech. And the third and the most important purity code is the emotional codes, the emotional purity. That is, whenever we are hit with any kind of wrong thoughts, the immediate reaction for our body is to go into negative emotions, the emotions of anger, emotions of jealousy, or the emotions of revenge, or hurting others, or even hurting our own selves, self criticizing ourselves, and the emotions which pull us down into a state of depression, into a state of grief, into a state of unforgiveness for others. So it blocks your heart chakra, it dims your light from your heart, and makes you a person who's very bitter. So, cleansing your emotions is the cleansing of your emotional body. So, it's purifying your heart chakra, it's purifying and activating your purity codes of emotions, which are very, very important. So, whenever you are hit with negative emotions about yourself or others, make it a point to release those emotions by tapping your heart or involving yourself in forgiving others by giving ho'oponopono prayers so that you can move out of that state of, you know, having self sabotage emotions or bad emotions for others, hurtful emotions or angry emotions for others. Just learn to forgive others and move ahead. Unless we clear our emotional body, it's like a bondage or a prison around us. So we have to break free of these negative mental patterns, negative words we speak, and negative emotions we carry all throughout. So we have to activate these three codes in us consciously by making conscious efforts. For me, how do I practice activating these codes? Let me share this with you. So when I get up in the morning, so after my morning routines of meditation, the next best thing I do is I create a shield around me, a white bubble of protection around me, and I tell my angels to keep this bubble around me throughout 24 by 7. And then I make a mental prayer to the angels, to gurus, to the masters to activate my purity codes. I gently tap my heart and I make a mental prayer. Dear angels, dear God, dear gurus, and all the masters, please help me to activate the purity codes in me, the code of purity of my heart and emotions, the code of purity of my speech, and the codes of purity of my thoughts. Throughout the day, please help me to speak good and kind words, to think positive and encouraging thoughts about others, and to have good feelings about the entire world. So, when I shield myself with this purity shield and tell the angels or my higher self to be with me and helping me to activate these codes in me, it really does help. So, whenever I find myself getting pulled down by the circumstances, I immediately bring myself back and remember to, touch my purity codes and to get back into a positive frame of mind. So initially you will have to make little efforts, but then slowly and steadily it'll get to your subconscious mind and you will always be surrounded by these purity codes. So after activating it, there'll come a day when you're always, surrounded with good thoughts, good speech, good emotions, not only for your own self, for others, and for the entire humanity. You'll be like a transmission tower or an instrument of the higher energies, the creator and the ascended masters and angels who would like to work through you, passing these pure positive thoughts and work. They would love to work through you towards the humanity, towards the upliftment of humanity and for the surrounding earth. So it's a big deal. So once you learn to activate them, your journey, your spiritual journey will become smoother, will become better, and your life, your relationships with yourself and with others will enhance astronomically. So just remember, it's a very simple thing, nothing unusual or no special techniques to be done. You are just reminding yourself, remembering that these purity codes are always there in you. You're just awakening to that pure form of yours by touching your heart, touching your throat, and touching your mind, your third eye. So remember to do it maybe once, twice, or as many times as you remember it. And there will come a day you will be surprised. It's a lifelong process. It doesn't happen in a day or two or, in few days. It'll keep happening and you will keep purifying yourself and keep merging with your higher self. In this age of ascension, many are awakening to their soul's blueprint. Activating purity codes not only raises your personal vibration, but it also helps raise the vibration of the collective. You become a silent lighthouse, guiding others into clarity without even speaking a word. Purity is not about being perfect, it's about remembering who you are beneath all the worldly conditioning. You are a being of truth, a soul whose nature is pure love. Let every thought, every word, every emotion become a sacred offering to the divine. Namaste. This is Soul Connect by Tina.